Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. The following video will contain spoilers from the Legends of Tomorrow episode Return of the Mack. So if you don't want anything spoiled for you, stop watching now. Hey guys. Okay. It's been a while since I've done a good theory video, and I gotta admit, I was kind of tuning out to Legends last night, but then some major things happened, and I'm starting to piece a few things together. So let's talk about a few things. Vixen, Zari, and the big bad for Season 3 known as Mallus. Okay. Now, Mallus is a bit tricky. I mean, I did my research, and the only thing I could see is that DC Comics has a subgroup called the Dakotaverse, or Milestone Comics. And there was a character named Mallus that had some supernatural powers in there. But when I tried to do some research for it, I couldn't find it immediately because suddenly everyone's asking about who was Mallus. But so basically this guy seems to have some supernatural power. And his big thing he's shown so far is that he has the power to send people through time as well as to resurrect the dead. This is not a small thing. And it got to me thinking, since Zari is tapping into a totem, I started wondering about like people that were connected to the Shazam family. Now, pre-Crisis, there was Quality Comics, I believe, was the world that had Shazam and stuff like that. There was a character in there named Kid Eternity. He was actually the real-life brother of Freddie Freeman, Captain Marvel Jr., and before the Crisis changed him around, he had died, was brought back by the forces of good, and said, we will give you powers in recompense for that. So they gave him the powers and he became Kid Eternity. Now basically, he could do several different magic things, but the big thing he could do was by saying the word eternity out loud, he can actually summon heroes from various legends in the past and whatnot. But they had to be dead, so he could just bring them back. It was kind of temporary, but it was interesting. He actually had a villain named Masterman who had similar powers, but he could summon, legends and villainous people from different time that also were dead. So he had some interesting abilities, but like I said, instead of saying eternity, he said Stygia, which is like one of the underworld realms. Anyway, I started thinking about Mallus. Now, people are thinking that he might be the Time Trapper, which is a big bad from the Legion of Superheroes. And we know they're going to be getting into Supergirl, but I don't know necessarily if they're going to be bringing him over into Legends. Does he have a lot of the mysterious things? Sure. But I'm not entirely sure about that yet. I think, you know how John Diggle was Spartan, which technically the name belonged to a guy from the Wildcats comic books in the Wildstorm. They kind of took that and reappropriated it. So maybe they're just taking the name Mallus and reappropriating it here. I'm not sure. We're going to have to see more about that. But he seems to have a great deal of power to bring back the dead, and supposedly the anachronisms caused by the Legends of Freedom. So we'll have to see what's happening there. But let's talk about the two mystics on the team right now. Vixen and Zari. Now, it looks like right now these totems are somehow connected to one another. It might be that since there's, for Vixen, there's actually 5 amulets that come from the Zambezi. Each one has the power of a certain element. Air, water, fire, earth, and the animal spirits. Now, in DC Comics, there are elemental forces that are given colorful code names. And this is different than the emotional spectrum that we see with the Green Lanterns. But because, for example, in the comic books of Earth 2, the more recent ones, where the Justice Society guys are essentially reborn into modern times and we're fighting Apocalypse, Alan Scott gained his powers as an avatar of the green, just like the Savitar. Not Savitar. Shit, Swamp Thing. So yeah, he has the powers of. So that's tapping into the green, like Swamp Thing, only used differently. So he has enhanced strength, speed, durability, can create constructs, energy blasts. He's pretty darn potent. With that, the elemental forces also have other avatars that they've chosen. Now, when they talk about avatars of the red, this is where all the animal life comes from. Now, like I said, Swamp Thing and Alan Scott were tapping into the green life, the plant life. The red is a force that controls all the animals. So I'm thinking that maybe what the powers of the Vixen's totem is doing is actually tapping into the red. Could be. I know that there's different colors and stuff in there, so maybe, am I far off? Maybe, but it's just a thought. Anyway, so there have been red lanterns that tap into the red. There have been avatars that tap into the air, and they're known as the white lanterns. And the blue lantern taps into the avatars of the water, taps into like I said, the blue or water. So it's possible that Kuasa, when she died in the Vixen animated series, or thought to have died, she was blown away by the fire totem, and it looked like she may have just evaporated or become one with the water totem. So when she was resurrected, now she is the avatar, so she doesn't need the amulet or totem. With that, the totem that the amulet that Zari has may be tapping into either a powers of a goddess, which we all know who, I just can't say, or maybe tapping into the white. So it's hard to say. And when it talks about destructive forces, there's then the gray or the black that in Earth 2, Solomon Grundy was actually brought in. So he was actually the avatar of decay and destruction and withering. I don't know if they're going to go that route in here. So the mystery really lies to what the heck is Mallus. We know he's got some power, but we know he needs someone to act in his stead. And he's off somewhere, but he needs to be summoned to empower things. So now we've got Damien Dark resurrected. His daughter was one that helped to do that, and apparently was also the one in the hood and cloak who was getting Kuasa and stuff. So it's possible she might be tapped to be his avatar for now, to try to assemble the others. Like I said, I'm just piecing things together. I'm not entirely sure. But it looks like if these things are tapping into elemental power, then it stands to reason about what's going on. I mean, like I said, all this is conjecture. But I think that these elemental forces are what's going to be coming up together and colliding this season, and hopefully able to deal with Mallus. If I do more, as more stuff comes revealed on the show, I will do more videos. I will try to reveal it. Well, at least if I feel up to it. I'm not making that a promise. I'll only do a video if I really feel up to it or inspired. I'm taking a break from roasting right now, but I loved doing my theory videos. That was my jam back in the day. But I'm going to take it easy now. So, what do you guys think? Who do you think Mallus is? Is he the Time Trapper? Is he something else? Do you think that Vixen and Zari's amulets are tapping into the elemental mystical forces? Who knows? All right, guys. Please, if you like, comment, subscribe, share, and I look forward to hearing a discussion from you. Until next time, Dave signing off. Peace. I know, doing a theory video about legends, I'm just as surprised as you are.